I'm Antonio Christie from Amazing Love Ministries, and I want to share with you this quick word today. His way is the best way. His way is the best way. In Isaiah 55, verse 8 and 9, from the Amplified Version, it reads, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." I remember I was working many years ago under this particular supervisor, and me and this supervisor just could not get along. I would try to go left and it would be a problem. I would try to do right and it would be a problem. I would try to go up, it would be a problem. And it just seemed that no matter what I did, that there was just always this friction. And I remember there came a point in time where I got so frustrated that I loudly expressed my frustration publicly for not just my supervisor to hear, but for my colleagues to hear. And it really, really upset me in that moment. I remember going home and I was like, God, I I I I just don't know what to do. I know I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. But I was so frustrated with the situation that I fell short of the mark of the high calling. However, after asking for God's forgiveness in that moment and seeking to find a way to resolve this issue, I asked God, okay, God, I don't know what to do. Everything I try to do, it's a problem. No matter which way I turn, it's a problem. I need your help. What should I do? The first thing he asked me to do was to apologize. So I did just that. And I apologized in the same way that I messed up. I publicly got everyone's attention and I apologized to him in the same volume and as publicly as I had offended him, as I had done that thing that I shouldn't have done. The other thing that God asked me to do now was a lot more challenging than that. And you're thinking to yourself, what? What could be more challenging than that? Give me 2 minutes and I will tell you. What God asked me to do was beyond my thinking and beyond my understanding. He asked me to buy my supervisor lunch once a week until he told me to stop. And furthermore, he told me to do it without my supervisor knowing. And I was like, oh my goodness. What? What is this that you're asking me to do? And he asked me to do it, and he decided, you know what? I am going to do this. I am going to do this. So with some help from some of my colleagues, I went about from the very next week, and once a week, I bought him the best lunch he had every week for months. I actually bought him lunch once a week, every week until I left that particular job. It was only on my last day working there that I revealed to him and to others who found out what was happening that it was actually me that was buying him lunch every single week. And to my amazement, as I did that, his attitude began to change. His personality began to change. He began to behave so differently, not just to me, but to everyone that was working there. And people began to notice this change in him. And I sat back and I was amazed at what God had done. I was amazed at his strategy, his thoughts, and his way working out to make my pathway smooth. I had no more problems. I had no more conflict between myself and the supervisor. In fact, I would dare say that today we are good friends. Every time he sees me, if he sees me before I see him, he shouts me. If I see him before he sees me, I shout him. And we always greet each other with that politeness, with that friendship and that understanding. Because what God had asked me to do, which was his thinking and his way, change our relationship. And sometimes you're in that type of situation. You may be facing a situation where we just can't see how to make this work. There may be that person in your life who is just frustrating, who is just agitating, who is just upsetting, and you are trying everything that you can think or imagine, and it's just not working. Sometimes we got to take a step back and say, all right, God, I can't think of a way. I can't see a way. Help me. Direct me. I'm going to trust your way because your thoughts and your ways are better than mine. So if whenever you face that situation, you can say the simple prayer, which I get from Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. And Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 says, trust in and rely confidently on the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight or understanding. In all your ways, know and acknowledge and recognize him, and he will make your path straight and smooth, removing obstacles that block your way. And I simply just pray this. I say, Father, help me to trust in and rely confidently on your way, on you with all of my heart. Help me not to rely on my own insight and my understanding. Help me to, in all my ways, know and acknowledge your word, know and acknowledge you, and recognize you are the authority in my relationships. You are the Lord of my interactions. God, make my path straight and smooth and remove every obstacle that blocks my way. Thank you for taking this time with us here at Amazing Life Ministries. Have an awesome, beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.